So what can you think of when it comes to like growing? Like, I know I said these things on intimacy. Like, what are some of the steps that you took to grow in intimacy with God? Like how did you get close with him? How did you like build that intimacy with him?
I mean, the first one where it says, I think you said emotional vulnerability. Like, that's important, bro. Like being able to be naked in front of God, bro. My mind sometimes wander in the space of like when Adam and Eve, like when they fell in the garden,
Mhm.
and I sometimes think, what would have been the outcome if they just came to God naked and say we messed up instead of hiding?
Mm.
Like what it would.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because wow.
Yeah,
That's the perspective. Because God
bro.
already knew what happened as it was happening. That's
Exactly.
true. Yeah.
So what if instead of hiding, they just said, "When we messed up"?
I feel as if the reason why they didn't do that is because like God is always gonna be close to us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like God doesn't have an intimacy problem when it comes to us. Like in His Word, it says He knew us when we was in our mother's womb. You feel me? And but I guess they were still trying to understand intimacy because they were still being together and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know how to be vulnerable and say, "Hey God, I messed up." Saying, "Hey
Yeah.
God, I did this," and that's
good.
emotional openness.
That's exactly what it is, bro. And I think we have a difficulty with that, bro. From Adam and Eve, they showed us how humanity would always have a struggle with that. Like being able to go to God like naked and tell them like, this is what I'm experiencing. The only person who could, I could say maybe in the scriptures, maybe two people, I give them, they kind of very, very bold with like what they was going. David is one.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, David, he was doing some stuff, but
he was able to be naked in front of God. And Job was very vulnerable what he was feeling when he was going through his season.
Yes. Oh, I didn't even think about it like that. Yeah, I didn't even think about him, but he I ain't gonna lie, he was saying some stuff.
He was raw with how he was feeling, bro.
And that's what God wants from us, bro. But I feel like many times, like, why do you think we shy away from being that open?
Shame. I think it's shame, bro. I think shame really tries to drive us into believing that God won't be able to handle what it is that we about to present to him, bro. So just run away. Like, why would you even come and be naked? Because shame is going to always make you feel as if you're less than. So God is not going to receive what it is that you're going to bring to him. So then you feel guilt, all that stuff. So shame is a very, very, very strong thing, to be honest, dog.
So how do we fight shame? Like shame is not something that we can, like, we're humans, we're emotional. Like, that's part of our nature, but we need to take authority over that. Like, how would we like?
I think it's in that process of being intimate, bro, with him. Because at the end of the day, if you can get to the point of knowing, again, accepting the fact that you messed up, let's say, for example, Paul in Romans 7, very, very open to let us know, like, yo, listen, but there's sometimes like I want to do good, but the bad come out, bro. Like I be trying to be good, but I fold sometimes. Like, who can save me from this wretched body? And he said, thank God to Jesus, because he's the only one who would have been able to save us. Until we honest with ourselves to say like, yo, this is something that I'm struggling with. This is what is trying to hold me captive, and going to God consistently, because it's not as if like he's getting tired. He's not getting tired of us, bro.
That's the part.
Consistently going to him every single moment, like telling God, this is what's going on. And then at the end of the day, bro, like, I'm not to say like shame won't try to enter. Because I was going to try.
Yeah.
But then the more that you consistently go to God, you'll be able to waver those moments when it comes.